Hello and welcome back to the channel. Well, I have some bad news for a lot of Americans, and this seems to be something that's going to affect almost everybody in some form or another. Anyway, it deals with the heating of your house. This winter, they're saying that heating your house is going to cost you a whole lot more. It's going to cost a whole lot more. Whether you're using propane, natural gas, or whatever it is, it's going to cost you a whole lot more. Unless, of course, you're someone who lives off grid and you don't depend on any of that to heat your house. Okay. So this is why I said it's going to affect almost everyone in this country, because a lot of people depend on some form of natural gas or propane for heating their home. And you only have select groups who may use fireplaces or wood burning stoves, or things like that to heat their homes. No one is off the hook though, because even those who use electric heat are going to be paying a lot more. As a matter of fact, they break it down in percentages of the hiking in price, and they are pretty big increases. Okay, now for those who depend on wood, in which we know a whole lot of people don't use that solely as their source, even with that, being able to locate resources is going to be a trip, right? If you don't live on a plot of land where you're able to gather your wood resources yourself from your own land, and you actually have to go out and buy, one thing we have noticed is that there is an increase in what people are charging for their wood as well. And in some cases, we've seen prices more than double on even the wood that people may depend on when buying from a source outside of their own resources. So they are hitting you, family. Anyway, I'm going to let you hear some more details on this, and I will be right back.
Americans should expect to pay higher costs to heat their homes this winter, Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm said Sunday, a result of high gas prices caused by the coronavirus pandemic. This is going to happen. It will be more expensive this year than last year, Granholm told CNN's Dana Bash on State of the Union. We are in a slightly beneficial position, well, certainly relative to Europe, because their chokehold of natural gas is very significant. But we have the same problem in fuels that the supply chains have, which is that the oil and gas companies are not flipping the switch as quickly as the demand requires. Granholm's comments come one day after President Joe Biden was non-committal on using the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to address rising gas prices, but Granholm said the administration feels all options are on the table. A release from the SPR, which is designed to protect the nation against a major disruption in oil supplies, may only provide modest, temporary relief from higher prices at the pump. She also told Bash that Biden is focused on both immediate-term and the long-term solutions, including investing in clean energy that he hopes will alleviate the issue. Natural gas futures have risen to 132% so far this year, and industry experts have warned it, along with retail prices, could go higher if it's a very cold winter, causing Americans to use more heat. U.S. households that rely on natural gas for heating could spend an average of $746 to heat their homes this winter, up 30% from last winter, according to the Energy Information Administration. Retail natural gas prices are expected to hit the highest levels since the winter of 2005 to 2006. Households are expected to spend 54% more for propane, 43% more for home heating oil, 30% more for natural gas, and 6% more for electric heating compared to last winter, according to a report from the EIA released last month.
Okay, so as you see, those increases were pretty big. Those are some big percentages of increase in price that many are going to be paying. And so that's going to make life a lot more difficult for a lot of people, because this is coming in the winter months. It's also coming during a time where people are losing jobs or not working, or have limited income, limited resources. I mean, all of this stuff is coming down so hard and so heavy. It seems to be happening so fast that you can't keep up with it all. And if you notice, we're also paying at the pump too. So these increases are across the board. Life as we know it has changed, right? And sometimes when you look at these things, you feel really sad for people that, don't have the ability to do certain things, or people who just kind of ignore certain things. But this is why, for as long as I can remember on this channel, I have been talking about people coming together and people working with others and people mending and rebuilding burned bridges and things of that nature. I've been talking about this because there is always strength in numbers. It is always good when you can work collectively together for a common goal. But so many spirits and demonic entities have infiltrated people's minds to the point where it's difficult for people to come together, right? And so that part I can honestly say is the fault of people who can't seem to get along with others. If you can't seem to get along with others, that falls on you, okay? But the sad reality is that would have been a great resolution for a whole lot of people, having the ability to come together with others. And what's unfortunate is you do have people who want to do that, but they expect more out of others than they expect out of themselves. At some point, we're going to talk in more detail, about certain things. We've put so much information out there already, and many of you may not go through the archives to see some of the things that we have already said many years ago, right? But I'm looking at this stuff, and it seems to be going from bad to worse in this world. The Bible prophesied these things. And so it comes as no shock to many of us, because we have already seen and heard that these things are going to be happening. And so they are happening now, right? There is no turning back from this. But it's unfortunate that, a lot of information over the years have fallen on deaf ears. And, some people have waited a little bit too late to try to do certain things, because they thought that they had a whole lot more time than what they really had. This is why the scripture said, like a snare, certain things were going to come upon the whole earth. And I'm starting to feel like we're either in that or heading into it, because this was totally unexpected. And look at some of the reasons why they are saying these things are happening. They're saying because of this pandemic that a lot of these things are happening now, right? And it came up so quickly that, it's like we looked one year and everything was just going one way. Then a whole year later, and now 2 years later, things have turned upside down. And people are running to and fro, not knowing what to do. And we're getting hit with more and more information like this, that this cost is going up, that cost is going up, people are losing this, that's being lost, this is happening, that's happening. And when you hear all of this, sometimes you just get a little weary. But nonetheless, these are the situations that we find ourselves in the world. And so we have to face this stuff in one form or another. So I just wanted to bring this bit of information to those of you who may not have been expecting this, but it's happening. Rising cost in heating, rising cost in driving, rising cost in living, while resources are trickling away. So that is our report for today on this. Remember in the comment section to leave your comments, but keep it tight and keep it right. But until next time. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share and like this video. And with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.